Alicia Garcia, an intern at Entrust Data Protection Solutions. Today, I'll show you how to integrate the Microsoft Active Directory Federation Services and nShield hardware security module. Before we begin this integration, there are some prerequisites we must fill. These are the prerequisites. For more information, visit our Microsoft Active Directory Federation Services integration guide at entrust.com/documentation. Next, I will demonstrate the following steps after this slide. To install and configure ADFS, we will generate new ADFS keys using the MMC snap-in with the following. Obtain the thumbprint hashes of all certificates using the certutil command. Install the ADFS role with PowerShell. We'll configure ADFS role with PowerShell. We'll also enable the ADFS sign-on page. We'll disable certificate rollover, and we'll test the sign-on page with Internet Explorer. Then, last, we'll roll the certificates from software-based to HSM-based keys. Once you have followed the steps from the PowerPoint, you are ready to create your ADFS keys. Search for the Run application, and we will open the certlm.msc file. It should be an application as well. Right-click on Personal and hover over All Tasks and Request New Certificate. On the Before You Begin page, click Next. Make sure that the Active Directory enrollment policy is selected. Click Next. Click on the More Information is Required link on your template that you just created. First, we will need a subject name. This will be common name from the drop-down box, and then you will enter the FQDN that you have created on your domain controller. You want to copy this for future reference. Next, for the alternative name, we will select the DNS type, S-type, and enter the FQDN as well. Every time you add a name, it should populate on the right-hand side text box. We will assign a second alternative name. It'll start with cert-off dot and the FQDN that you have created on your domain name. Click Add. So there should be 3 names for this key. This is going to be the ADFS TLS software key. Under the Private Key tab, open the cryptographic service provider. As you can see, all of them are selected. But for this key, we only need the Microsoft Software Key Storage Provider to ensure that this is in fact going to be a software key. Check on the certification authority to make sure that the proper CA is selected, the one that you just created when you installed and configured the ADCS. Once that is complete, click OK. Make sure to check the box next to the template that you have just used and click Enroll. Once it's succeeded, click Finish. Then do the same steps for the other certificate. Use the same template. This is the key that will be used as an SSL certificate in a future step. Under Private Key, make sure that the cryptographic service provider is the nCipher Security World Key Storage Provider. This will specify that will be an HSM key. Certification authority, same CA that you just created. Click OK. Check the box and click Enroll. When this pops up, just click Next and make sure to choose the proper security method. For this demonstration, I will use module protection. Click Finish. Once it succeeds, click Finish. Now we will work on the token signing HSM key. This key will not require an alternative name, just a common name. And it can be anything. Same under private key, make sure it's the encipher one that is selected. Always check the certification authority. Otherwise, when we create the certificate, it will fail. And for the last one, the token decrypting key. Like the token signing key, this will only require a common name. No alternative name is needed. Under private key, like the token signing, make sure that the nCipher security world key storage provider is the only one selected. For the certification authority, always make sure that the one that was created just now is the one that's being used. Once the certificates have been created, and if you're unsure about the configuration of each certificate, maybe you feel like you made a mistake, you can always click on them in the folders under Personal and Certificate, and you will see all the certificates that have been created. To verify the configurations, you can look on Details, and it will show all the information that you need to verify. Now that we have our certificates, we are ready to install the ADFS server. Once the ADFS server has rebooted, open a PowerShell window as administrator. To install the ADFS server role, run this command. Now, locate the certification hash for the appropriate software key. Make sure to change all the information that is appropriate for your organization. So this is the software key. This is the cert hash we will be using when we configure the ADFS server. But before configuring, we must import the commands to be used. Now we are ready to configure the ADFS server role. Once again, make sure to use the appropriate certificate hash. You're going to enter it here under certificate thumbprint. Here you can enter the company name. For the Federation service name, you will use the FQDN that you created in your domain controller. And here you will enter the GMSA account in your domain controller. Then hit enter. Once the configuration is successful, it is recommended to restart the ADFS server. You can do this in PowerShell, or you can do it using the Start button. Once the server is rebooted, open another PowerShell as administrator. We are going to check and enable the ADFS sign-on page. To enable this, you'll just paste the following. Once it is successful, open Internet Explorer. Find the link stated in the guide. It should be similar to this. Hit enter. Don't forget to replace the FQDN in the link with whatever is appropriate for you. You might need to add this as a trusted site if it doesn't populate immediately. It's simple to do. You go to Settings, Internet Options, and Security, and Sites. And you'll enter the link in this box and click Add. And you should see it in this box. Then refresh the page, and this should be how it looks like. Sign in with your computer account. Now it's been successful. You can close this window. Now we will configure ADFS to use the nShield HSM tokens. First, we must disable the auto certificate rollover. Now we will set the SSL certificates. First, we're going to find what certificates are being used. This should be the hash from the software key that we had previously created and used when we configured the ADFS server role. Locate the appropriate certificate to be used as the SSL certificate. Currently, there is no other way to do this other than PowerShell. This time, we will use the one with the provider as nCipher Security World Key Storage Provider, as this is an HSM-based key. This is the hash we will be using from now on. Now, we are going to set the SSL certificate. Make sure to replace the hash. This should take a couple of minutes. If it doesn't work right away, hit enter one more time and a warning should pop up. This is normal. We will get the certificates that we were using to make sure that the change occurred. As you can see, they all changed except for the cert auth right here. We can change this with the following commands. Again, make sure to use the proper hash. Once again, if it doesn't work right away, you can always hit enter one more time and it should work. This error is normal. Just get the status for the ADFS SSL certificates to make sure the change occurred. As you can see, it did. Now, all we have to do is remove the certificate on port 49443. Just use the following command. Make sure to change the information once again appropriate for your integration. Once again, get the status. As you can see, the change happened. To change the other certificates, I prefer to use the ADFS management application. Expand the service node and click on Certificates. Here you can see all the different certificates to be used. We are going to replace these as these are standard and they were created when we created the ADFS server role. So they must be replaced. First, we will change the service communication. On the right-hand side, you will see a link to do so. Click on Set Service Communication Certificate. Here, we will add the ADFS TLS HSM key. Click OK. The new key should be populated. Now for the token decrypting key, click Add. Click on More Choices if necessary, and you should see it. Click OK. Click OK. You should see it set as secondary. Don't worry, we're going to change this in a minute. Now for the token signing key, we'll do the same thing. Now, for the secondary certificates, right-click and then click on Set as Primary for both of them. It might show a warning, just click Yes. As you can see, they are now primary. It is a good time now to restart the service to make sure that everything works. Once the server started up again, it's good to verify the website once again. To make sure that everything is working properly. Just sign in with the same computer account that you had logged in previously. Once the logon is successful, this integration has been successful. For more information on troubleshooting or other protection methods, please visit our integration guide at entrust.com/documents. Thank you for watching.